Connor, so the episode that we're talking about today...
Hi, Aidan.
Hi, Connor. Is the pyramid at the end of the world.
Correct, Mundo.
And one of the big plot points within the episode revolves around the Doomsday Clock. Does that sound scary?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, you know, maybe the Doomsday Clock is gonna ding soon.
Gonna ding soon. It's all about... The Doomsday Clock is a clock, a real-life clock that counts down because scientists put in all their data. I think it's based around nuclear and environmental things like climate change and stuff.
Yeah.
And basically counts down to see theoretically how close we are to the destruction of Earth, right? It's a science thing. It's not an actual clock built into the planet Earth.
Right.
But yeah, it takes into account everything and basically likes to show us how close we are to destroying ourselves.
Do you have the actual stat of how long we got left?
I do.
Okay.
Well, no, it doesn't... So it changes. Throughout different times in history, it has gone up and down. So it basically goes on like a thing of a certain amount of minutes to midnight. So when the clock strikes midnight is when the world is supposedly going to end.
Okay.
But like during things like perhaps the Vietnam War or something, or like the Cuban Missile Crisis, perhaps it got a little bit closer to like 5 minutes to midnight, 4 minutes to midnight.
Okay.
And then during more peaceful times, it's dropped back down to like 7, 8 minutes to midnight.
I didn't even know that was real.
Yeah, it's a real thing,
okay.
and it started out in 1947, and yeah, it's a big part of this episode.
It is. It is.
So, whilst watching the episode, I was like, I wonder where we're at the moment.
Okay.
There's been a lot of stuff going on in the world.
Yeah, it's been a funny few years. A few things have happened.
It updates every January. So
Okay.
it's not like a constant thing. It's just like throughout the year, they input the data of the year, and then in January, they do an update.
Okay.
See how close we are. So, the clock's original setting in 1947 was 7 minutes to midnight.
Okay.
It has since been set backwards 8 times and forward 17 times. The furthest time from midnight was 17 minutes in 1991. And I'm not going to read that just yet. The clock was moved to 2.5 minutes to midnight in 2017, then forward to 2 minutes to midnight in January 2018,
Wow.
and left unchanged in 2019. In January 2020, it was moved forward to 100 seconds, 1 minute and 40 seconds before midnight. And the clock's setting was left unchanged in 2021 and 2022. In January 2023, it is updated to 90 seconds to midnight.
Wow.
The end is nigh, my friends. The end is nigh.
What's that, a minute and a half?
Yeah, so we got about a minute and a half of this podcast left before we die.
What the hell? I didn't know that was real.
Yeah, it's a real thing, and yeah.
Wait, so it's getting worse, basically? Like,
Yeah, but it can get better.
yeah, I suppose, but is it?
Nope.
Is it going to get better?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty wild. I didn't know that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
I thought the episode. I thought that was a Stephen Moffat.
It was cool
Mind
for
trick.
Moffat to bring that on.
Yeah, I like that,
it's
actually. That's
cool-
really cool. I didn't know that. So, hey, the
cool
more you
stakes.
know. This is why Aidan's the facts man on this show.
Mr. Fact Man with the glasses.
He's smart now.
I am the intelligent boy. So yes, Connor, would you please enlighten me
Yes.
and our audience as to
I'd love
what is
to.
to come in today's show?
Well, Chris Chibnal has redeemed himself in an interview where he reveals all,
That is crazy,
which is very
Connor.
exciting, actually.
Bouncing off of that, we're also going to discuss what the shape of Doctor Who should take in the current TV timeline, in
Yeah.
our humble opinions.
In our humble opinion, we also review Pyramid at the End of the World, which we just spoke about then for a little bit. The Doomsday Clock is a ticking.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, motherfuckers. And I'll tell you about the movie that made me cry for 3 times in a couple of hours. And we'll give you an exclusive look at what's in store as we celebrate 60 years of Doctor Who later this year.
Or a lot more of us.
There'll be more. You'll see our faces again, hopefully.
Me.
It's all about me.
Me.
Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on YouTube or your preferred podcast platform. We'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube sometime soon. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, maybe before the Doomsday Clock runs out.
That's good.
It'd be good to...
Because afterwards we'll be dead.
We'll be dead. At least we can die knowing we had 1,000 subscribers. Right
Yeah.
now, we don't.
We don't.
And it's like, what's the point?
The's no point doing it after we died. Is basically what we're saying
So
here.
let us go out with a bit of a smile on our faces.
Yeah, let the world end.
We didn't waste our lives. we got 1,000 subs.
And you can talk to us over on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. You can see awesome tweets from me, such as Dr. D's Nuts.
Brilliant. No, definitely. That's a highlight for me.
Let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
Whoa.
50% podcast. I should have done the Doomsday Clock.
Is that the new dance? It's a new TikTok dance, the Doomsday dance.
It's about to go to 12.
Yes.
How good's that?
That's good. That's a good move.
That'd be great if we know we're all going to die on TikTok. Everyone's just doing the doomsday clock.
How close can you go?
Hey, we just started a viral TikTok dance.
You heard it here first.
Hey, we're on TikTok, Cat50 Doctor.
Yeah, we've got to make a TikTok of that.
Yeah, make it go viral. Woo!
It's been 2 weeks though, Connor, before we talk about all that stuff. It's been literally, I think it's 13 days since we last recorded. You wouldn't know in the world of stuff because we pre-recorded, and this one's coming out very late. Recorded very late, this episode is.
Yeah, because we reviewed the last episode very early, and now we're in this one very late.
Yeah, so in about 24 hours, in 24 hours time, this episode should come out.
Which is really cool, actually. But yeah, we were supposed to... It would have been 10 days, but then it's like, 13, I think. So,
What have you been doing, man? It's been 2 weeks.
I went away for work.
Wow,
I got called away, which is as horrible as it sounds.
It sounds like a lovely holiday, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's not really a holiday, but yeah. Everyone keeps saying that. It's like, oh, how nice.
I've seen you at the pub every night, champ. Don't you deny it.
What else? There's literally nothing else to do there.
You said there was a tree.
And it's closed.
The big tree.
It's the Gloucester tree, which is famous. You can Google it in Pemberton.
I won't.
It's actually, like, I've done it before. It's sick. It's like the tree they had where they used to try and see where the bushfires was back in the day. And that's closed. And there's not really much else to do. So yeah, that was more of a social thing. It was just like, to just meet the locals and the staff who are all like mostly backpackers. So I met some like really cool like backpackers and stuff.
Very cool.
Got invited to a backpackers party.
Very hip.
Got told not to go.
Right.
And didn't.
That probably hurt.
Yeah, I was like halfway there. I was walking there and it was like pitch black in this small town. And I got called back. And then as I did, I turned around, and as I turned around, like 4 people came around the corner all at once. And I was like, was I about to die? Maybe. I don't know. I maybe that was a doomsday clock trying to save me a little bit,
motherfuckers.
I thought it wasn't looking good for old Connor, but it's time of victorious phase.
At that specific moment, Connor's doomsday clock struck about 20 seconds to midnight.
Pretty much, yeah. And then, like you said, it can be reversed. Yeah. And I think that was the universe telling me with the phone call not to go around the corner, and I literally didn't. And then I think I kind of saved my life. I kind of like sped walked up the hill and kept like looking back a little bit just to see if I was getting followed, and I was for a little bit.
So now you're back to 90 seconds to midnight.
Yeah, I'd like to say so. I'd like to say so. 100 minutes maybe would be a bit better,
minutes.
But to midnight.
Yes.
I'd like that. That would kind of be my goal.
An extra 10 minutes.
But yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun.
Cool.
Yes.
I have got something in the post. Something.
Oh yeah.
I've been on the edge of my seat for many years to get this, Connor, and that is Revolution of the Daleks on Blu-ray.
Did you not bring it down?
No, I didn't. It's in a standard normal Blu-ray case. I didn't get it because
it would be fun to just go, here you go, this is what it looks like.
Well, I didn't.
It's pretty old, to be fair.
Unfortunately, it's not included in any of the steelbooks.
Very strange.
So I had to buy it separately, and I was like, I'm not going to pay $30 for 65, 70 minutes of TV. That is perfectly fine.
How is it still that expensive? It came out years ago.
Yeah. And then I got given a voucher, and I was like, I guess I get that and pre-order Banshees of Inisherin.
You're like, I owe this to myself.
I do owe it to myself. Okay, Connor, tell us a little bit about how Chris Chibnal has redeemed himself.
Okay, so he went on a podcast. What's it called? Dalek?
No, Radio Free Skaro.
Radio Free Skaro, which was so interesting. I love stuff like this. We were talking previously on the show about how we just love to hear creators talk about creativity.
Definitely.
And this was such an interesting interview where basically he was at Gallifrey 1. These guys came up to him and said, hey, can we borrow you for like an hour? And they went and sat in a room and just spoke about Doctor Who and a little bit about Broadchurch as well, which was nice to hear. Before I went into it, I was like, I hope they talk a little bit about Broadchurch, because I find that I just previously rewatched it, actually, all 3 seasons. And I found it very interesting. A lot of good little tidbits.
Yeah,
he dropped.
We're going to talk about a few things from it, but we're not going to go in detail because we want you to go check out this podcast because it's such a good podcast, and
Free Skaro.
It's definitely Radio Free Skaro.
Radio Free Skaro on Spotify.
And it's just a really good listen, and the lads over there did a really good job at interviewing him. Minor takeaway: Chris Chibnal, sexy voice on the pod. He sounded very good. Husky, like mid-40s.
It's kind of sad, man. I feel like he never really we never really got to hear from him when the show was coming out. He did the tiniest little bits of like behind the scenes stuff, which is fair enough. Maybe he just wanted to be more in the background.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wish we would have gone to see more of him. I guess we got so used to seeing Russell and Steven so much.
Yeah.
That when he didn't really want to be in the limelight as much, he just decided not to. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he debunked a lot of the things that people have been sort of saying and blaming him a bit for in the past, like the Christmas specials being moved to New Year's Day wasn't necessarily didn't stem from him and his hatred for Doctor Who on Christmas Day. And he said there that for a while Spyfall was scheduled to be released part 1 on Christmas Day, part 2 on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
How cool would that have been?
I loved that idea. And if you're wondering why, the BBC said it was too dark.
Which is Spyfall too dark?
Look at Voyage of the Damned.
I know,
man.
that's what I was going to say.
I think that's actually kind of why, though, because I think they got a lot of complaints of Voyage of the Damned. But yeah, I know
Probably,
what you mean.
but even since then, episodes like Last Christmas are significantly darker than Spyfall.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that would have been sick, and that was his original plan, and I think that would have been great. So yeah, that's just, you know, again, people just assume it's all his fault, and it's not. You know, all the time it is the BBC in the background going, "This is what we want.
Yeah,
we want this.
Do it for me."
You know, you'll take the blame, and it's. He wanted spin-offs as well.
He did,
which is another thing. People were like, why don't you just give it to us? I'm like, yeah, why don't you give it to us? And I guess the BBC again were like, we want to do it, but we don't really want to put the money in it.
Yeah, we don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah, it's a one where I think people don't understand sometimes that it's not Chris Chibnall's decision whether or not another show gets made. You know, he's captaining one ship and he's got to take care of the financing and stuff for that ship, and he can't just go, right, now let's make this one. There is so many other people involved in that decision-making process. And yeah, it never happened. And I'm sure maybe COVID was definitely like a big thing that could have prevented it from happening.
Well, plus the last one didn't go down well.
Yes, exactly.
And I think they were probably cautious about that. And it's like, yeah, you know, Chibnall primarily worked on spin-offs, so why would he be against doing them? He clearly knew what it was like to work on them and knew they worked and people loved them. Yeah. So, yeah, again, another thing he kind of got blamed for, which wasn't necessarily his fault.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, he kind of got a bit shafted at his time there. And I'll say this, I don't think that in this interview, he never blames the BBC for any of this kind of thing. But
just speaks the facts, you know?
I think, like, his situation, they sort of said over the 5 years of his tenure, how much the TV landscape changed, right? And I think that he copped the worst of that, being in trying to make a big sci-fi show that's kind of out of place where it's at the moment. And he said, you know, we got to use foresight. And so they shortened the series down to 10 episodes, which by the time those episodes came out, automatically felt a little bit outdated because all of a sudden everyone was wanting like 8 episode seasons. And so it's really interesting to see that. And I also think that the BBC, when making Chib's era, I just get a vibe that they didn't know what to do with Who, and that's why. And now with them jumping to Disney Plus, was sort of them figuring out what to do with it. And so I think it's going to be easy for us to see a lot of the problems in Chibnall's era be fixed in the RTD era, but I don't necessarily think that comes back down to Chibnall. I think he copped a bit of a bad hand in a way. Like Doctor Who was sort of teetering off at the end of the Moffat era, and Chibnall had to kind of try and make it work. Plus, he got COVID halfway through. I think he got dealt a pretty bad and rough hand.
It's like if I can kind of compare it to my job for a second, like because we're like the builders, we're like the main people on the site.
Bob the Builder,
yeah, and like people come in like plasterers and like brickies and like electricians and painters and stuff. When something goes wrong with them, they always come to us, even though it has nothing to do with us. It's kind of similar to that. It's like, well, you know, that didn't really have anything to do with me. Just because like I'm the main person here, doesn't mean that every little thing that happens under this operation is my fault. Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is the job I'm working on, but that's a completely different, like, you know, fucking ballpark.
That's a good analogy.
So I don't know. I do feel sorry for the guy. He also said that the changes in the Sunday as well. They spoke about that, and it was the same kind of thing with the New Year's special. They were trying to
the changing of the time slot and the day that it came out.
It's funny, he mentioned two of Steven's shows, which was Sherlock and he mentioned Happy Valley as well, if you noticed.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Happy Valley, Sherlock and Dracula, which were all New Year's releases,
Yeah.
and they'd done well, and that's 2 of Steven's shows. And that was their justification as well for maybe doing the New Year specials, and with the Sunday slot, I think they were just trying something out as well. And
You don't know till you try.
no, you don't, and you can't really blame for trying. I don't think, you know, the Christmas specials are coming back, like most presumably. You know, I don't think we're all terribly mad that we had 5 years of.
I think it
needs
makes
a
it
little bit of a
feel so
break.
much better that we're having
Yeah.
Christmas specials back. You know,
Probably
we've
need a
had
little bit of a break.
5 years of no Christmas specials. It's so refreshing to then go back and get a Christmas special.
Do you know what's so funny? It's like Earth gets fucked over every year at Christmas. Did it just not get fucked over for 5 years?
I
And
know.
then now it's going to go back to every Christmas getting
Yeah.
completely fucked over.
Like, oh, not again.
It's like,
They
oh,
should end-
it's back. The cycle's back.
Yeah, they
The
should.
doomsday clock is getting worse.
They should end this Christmas special coming up with like, let's hope that doesn't become a
Yeah.
regular thing.
Again. We had a 5-year break. Come on. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
It is good. And the other major thing that was that for a little while there, Doctor Who was a little bit cancelled during COVID, but
Yeah.
and Chib said that he had to do things to get it back on air that he wasn't going to go into on that podcast. So he clearly had to kill a man,
Probably.
assassinate some people.
So he said
knows?
for 2 weeks it was really up in the air, and he said for an hour it was cancelled.
Yeah, he said that was like
For an hour, it
hour.
was cancelled.
Can you just imagine like being in an interview and it's like, all right, we're not doing Doctor Who, and it must be one of those things where like he just like walked out and was probably fuming and was like, yeah, we can't do this. And then like the moment he like calmed down was like, now we've got to fucking do this. Let's go get them, boys.
It's so
Hype
interesting
them all up.
here.
Let's go.
Like there was he said, I heard from the people on an EastEnders set that it took an hour to move a stage. And
Yeah,
it's like
right.
normally, 3 hours, it would normally take an hour.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's just like some really low budget soap. And then you're going to do a show like Doctor Who,
Yeah.
where there's so many sets and
It is unbelievable what they
on-set
did in that time.
locations and all that. Like it actually is. It took them a year to film 6 episodes.
Which they said was the longest
Which-
Doctor Who's ever shot for.
Is insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of respect to Jodie Mandip and John Bishop, who were away from their families for a solid year, and the crew.
Yeah.
Like, I think this gives you a huge amount of respect for Chris and the team.
Yeah.
Because even if you didn't like it, I think you kind of gotta give them a bit of a standing ovation, because it sounded like a
Should we-
complete fucking nightmare. Yeah, do you want to stand up?
There we go.
What are we at? A Cannes Film Festival? We're going to stand up for 8 minutes?
Yeah,
and
do an 8
not
minute
sit down.
standing
like,
ovation.
"Whoa."
Hey!
Yeah, no, I got a lot of respect for the guy now, and I want to hear more from him.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Hopefully, he sounds like he loved being at Gallifrey once, so that's
Yeah.
fantastic. There are all sorts of other lovely things in that interview, so go check that
But
out.
you should watch the show. Yeah,
They-
definitely 100% check it out. It's such an interesting listen.
Yeah, they
Really,
talk about
really great.
all sorts of other like kind of inner working things at the BBC of how Doctor Who's made.
Bit of Broadchurch.
Bit of Broadchurch, a
His
bit more
first show
about
as
COVID,
well.
like
Yeah.
Doctor Who COVID stuff, and how certain other elements of Doctor Who at COVID came about. So make sure you go check it out for that kind of stuff, because that is absolutely fantastic. A big takeaway for me was how bloody clever Chibnal is, and how much he does understand about the TV climate, right? Because he had a lot to say about the TV industry. And so that got me thinking, right? They were talking about how the number of episodes changed,
Yeah.
of just what an audience would want and would consume. Because I agree. Like sometimes, like when House of the Dragon is 10 episodes, I was
Yeah.
like kind of surprised. I was like, wow, that's almost unheard of for such a big production to have 10 episodes these days.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the ideal number of episodes of Doctor Who per season?
It's a good question, isn't it? Because, we're getting 8 with Shooty, and we had 10 for season 11 and 12, and then 6 for 13. And I know we had specials in between, but I think if it's done well and it's like kind of like action packed and really enjoyable, something like Flux could really work. I think that for 6 episodes for that, it worked. I guess I'd say something between, as much as I want 12 and 13, I think that also gives room for way too much filler.
Yeah.
And we see that in seasons like season 10 what we're reviewing now. There's just episodes that just kind of like stick out like a sore thumb, and you're like, well, do we really need that? I guess at the end of the day, it's nice to have more, but sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
I'd say 10.
You say 10? You think 10?
I could say between 8 and 10.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm really happy with 8.
Yeah, well, that's what we're getting. So.
Yeah, I think 8's good. Like, a lot less filler.
No
gives
filler.
you enough room for like a couple of more standalone episodes, which I think is important. That Doctor Who still try and do a few standalones here and there, but also episodes that are more focused on a through line, on a story. But I think 8 episodes plus at least one special a year. I wouldn't be against them like doing 8 episodes a year and then almost like a mystery special. Like maybe one day it might drop on Halloween.
That'd be awesome.
And I'm not saying they don't tell us, like they don't just drop it out of the blue, but like just 8 episodes in a special, but it doesn't matter what day of the year that special comes out. Or maybe they always do a Christmas special and a second special could be on Halloween or on Easter. Like whenever. Or even just like a summer blockbuster special, right? Where it's just like not any special event, but it's just like a massive... Like the classic blockbusters you get in like June, July, right? Or
yeah,
is that right? Is that when they do blockbusters?
Yeah, well that's summer in America. So that's when all the big.
So like you could have like a big action-packed like 70-minute Dalek special come out mid-year or something like that.
Madonna. Yeah, let's do it. I love it. Yeah,
make it happen.
A good point. And yeah, 8 episodes leaves like no filler. I think it's the right thing to do for Ncudi's first season. I think it's a lot more. It's tight. It's impact. I think Russell has said that there'll be more episodes next season. So he'll probably be giving us about 10.
He didn't directly say that. I think he said 8 episodes. I know that's shorter than the last like full season of Doctor Who that you got. But it takes a while to get the ship going or something like that. And so that implies that there's more to come in the future. But I also, for me, I think that... for me, that implies there's going to be more Doctor Who.
It could be just spin-offs.
But that's what I think. I think the most likely thing is we're going to stick with an 8-episode season, but then maybe we'll get like a 6-episode spin-off later in the year. Or
with that kind of thing, I don't think you go hungry.
No, I think that's plenty. I'll be full to the brim.
We're going to be eating good in the next like year and a half. So
yes, we will.
I think we kind of just gotta. So funny when Chibnal was like, would you come back and write? He was like, no,
never again,
instantly,
please,
no.
No, like I don't blame him. Like he wrote so much. He wrote
a lot. Yeah, he wrote a lot. So,
so that was.
Yeah, no, I think 8's. I'd say 8 or 10, but I think 8 suits Ncuti. I just
9?
want more, but
what about 9?
Nah, I hate that.
I hate the number 9.
It's like
just do 10, you idiot.
I'll have that fact later when we talk about something else. But anyway, we'll move on. I'll bring that up later.
Oh, is this Succession season 3?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 9.
Yeah, it's
not,
10, 10, and 9.
Yeah, 10, 10, and 9.
Was that a COVID hit thing?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be 39 episodes.
That's so frustrating.
It could have been 40.
That's so
39, no.
Yeah,
so it happens, I guess.
I was always happy that
COVID schmovid.
Sherlock did... They rounded it off and did like... Because they did 4 3-episode seasons and then 1 special.
So 10.
And no, that's 13.
Oh no, they did... Why did I think there was 3 seasons for a second?
And 30, because you erased season 4 from your mind.
I did.
Even though
clearly.
I like season 4. It's not perfect. It's just... I enjoy it. Okay.
How did I figure there was a 4th season?
Well, just a fake fan of Doctor Who.
I'm a bit of a nutcase, I reckon.
You are a nutcase. Also. All right, now onto the beers and onto the review.
Okay, all right. Let's get into it.
Pyramid at the End of the Said World.
Yeah.
Is the exact title, actually. It's the 7th episode of the 10th series of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who, written by Peter Harness and Stephen Moffat, broadcast on the 27th of May 2017 on BBC One, receiving generally positive reviews from television critics. In the episode, the Doctor investigates how a pyramid appeared in Turkmenistan.
Yeah,
I hate mispronouncing other countries because I just feel like I sound racist when I pronounce things like this wrong.
From the Saigon episode.
Oh, fake country. Oh, that's right.
It's
that was
fake state.
That was a fact back then, wasn't it?
Correct, Mendel.
Okay, now I feel slightly less not racist, but I feel better about my...
It's fine, you're all right.
Anyways, Pyramid rocked up there in said Turkmenistan overnight and confronts an ancient enemy ready to destroy humanity. It is the second of 3 loosely connected episodes called the Monk Trilogy. So, yeah.
Loosely connected. I don't know how they can keep saying that.
This is more connected than me and you, baby.
Yeah, sure.
Very connected. We're connected like an Avatar and they're flying things. How they...
What, the little tails?
They'd stick the tails.
I'm not blue-pilled. You know I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well...
Neither will.
I'm not going into Avatar
never have,
today.
Neither will.
Okay, what did you think in 2017 when this episode first came out? Did you enjoy it?
No.
You said fat L Fat L.
No, I didn't enjoy it. I was like, Ulf Madone, what is going on with this season? Why am I tuning into this every week? I hate this. I hate my life. I hate Doctor Who. I
remember you giving me shit
everything.
because I never loved it, but in 2017 I remember I was like, oh, that was actually quite good. Like I remember I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I'd never give you shit for anything, man.
You never do. That's
Never,
not
ever,
our
ever,
message
ever.
at chat this last week has been borderline abusive, I'll say.
From you,
From
yes.
both of us.
From you.
From both of us. Abusive.
Just Aidan.
This toxic
Just Aidan.
relationship.
Yeah, it's just Aidan. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know you liked it in the past, so
I did. And
I still do.
well, I don't hate it. I think it's fine. I watched this on Monday night. I just went to the movies where I cried.
Yeah.
And so I was emotional.
You wanted to cry some more.
And I wanted to cry some more. And I was like, what makes me cry more? Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And so I put on Premiere at the End of the World. I had a few more gins. Mm-hmm. And I felt sorry. I just got... This has been a bad week for Aidan's alcohol consumption. That just made me realise that.
Nah, that's all right.
Yeah, and I was very... Yeah, I enjoyed it.
But it's mid.
I couldn't tell you what happened for about half an hour of it. But that being said, I enjoyed it. You know, it like finished and I was like, that was cool. And there's some great moments in there. It's an episode of good moments, but the episode itself isn't the most cohesive.
Man, that do be season 10 right now.
Yeah. So what did you think of the episode in 2023?
I thought it was just fine. I thought it was a lot better than I remember. But I remember just not liking it. And I think I had the same thing as last week where I was kind of watching it and like, I think I just got confused and I wasn't engaged in the plot. This time I'm understanding the whole Monk idea and what they're trying to go for and what they're just evil and they want to do evil things.
Spooky boys.
Or they're evil. And now I kind of get like their pitch of attack. Before, I felt like I just didn't get it and I didn't care and I didn't really mind just watching it and then throwing it away and never really watching it again, I think. I think it's probably the third time I've watched it ever. And I thought
Probably
it was
same.
just better than fine. I think I'd say it was good.
It's enjoyable, right?
Enjoyable, but not
Yeah.
great.
No.
Well on shot. So it's Steve Tomlinson? No? No, it's not.
No, it is. It's written by Peter Harness and Stephen Moffat. Peter Harness, I think, wrote the Zygon one, right?
Yeah, and didn't he do Flatline and
Yeah, that sounds
Moment
about
on
right.
Express? I might be wrong there, actually. I think he did Flatline and Moment on Express, and then he did the Zygon.
No, he did Kill the Moon.
That's it.
And then the Zygons, and then this one. So it's interesting because...
That's why the country comes back again.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's probably why he was like, oh, I'll use my made-up
I
country.
like connections like that. It's like Toby Whithouse using the mole creatures.
Bit of world building.
Yeah, I like world building.
Building the world is
It's
good.
at the end
As
of
a
the
builder,
world.
you must love world building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could say that. I guess. Yeah,
If you want.
If you want.
Yeah.
You know, life moves on. Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, there is a Doomsday Clock in this episode, which I think... I think it's a great idea. I don't think, for some reason, it wasn't as intimidating as I would have hoped it would be. Because it was like counting down, but I never was like threatened. Like I never felt like the world was actually about to end. But I that being said, I really enjoy the cutaways just throughout the episode to just the small things that were causing the world to about
Right,
end.
so
because that's how the world will end one day.
Yeah.
Someone's going to leave a bloody, as Matt Smith said, I thought I left the tap on.
Yeah.
Like someone's going to do something like that, and that's what's going to cause the world to end. I bloody know it. Either that or like a supernova is just going to... Because supernovas just like fly through the sky, right? And they can just wipe out planets within like any time.
Yeah, but I think like... Yeah.
Yeah, we're all going to die.
I was going to say some scientific explanation to stop it, but I think that's meteorites, so I'm not going to bother.
Supernovas, they cannot stop. I think supernovas will move that fast, we won't even pick it up before it
You know,
kills
back
us.
in my day, it used to be a convention.
You what?
A convention?
You were a convention.
No, back in my day, supernova used to be a convention.
It still is a convention. Like a
Yeah,
comic
no one goes,
convention.
though.
It's better than bloody Comic-Con, mate.
No one from Doctor Who goes to supernova is what we're trying to say.
No one from Supernova comes to Perth Comic-Con. Okay, they have done in the
What?
past, but not in the last... Sorry,
yeah.
no...
Sorry, I was like, what the fuck?
No one from Doctor Who.
Is this convention crossover?
Let's move on. That sentence was butchered, and I'm gonna forget about it.
Yeah, come meet another convention at our convention. Brilliant. Now, I thought that lab stuff was fine. It was like, it all happened so quickly. Suddenly they make this bacteria that just kills everything in its path. I'm like, how did you make that so quickly?
That's
Surely.
Mate, are you gonna question that after the global pandemic that just happened? Someone ate a fucking bat and it ruined the world.
That was like disgusted, like fucking markets and all that horrible stuff.
Yeah, well, these guys are just like fiddling with things that they think they know about. That's the problem with humanity. We think we know everything.
Someone ate a bat.
And we love, like, I sometimes sit there and I think, like, why the fuck did we make the Large Hadron Collider? Like, it just sounds...
What?
The Large Hadron Collider, is that what it's called? It's like a massive contraption that's basically meant to, like, recreate the Big Bang at, like, on a smaller scale.
Why?
And I'm like, are you just gonna blow us up?
Yeah.
There's these things that they do in the world, these scientists. I'm sure you're very intelligent and very smart, but you scare me. You scare me.
It's like I saw a thing on Twitter today. It's like, who discovered milk from a cow? Like, what were they trying to do? It makes you think a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, some saucy bugger was like...
It makes you think a little bit, you know?
Gotta squeeze... Want to squeeze those udders.
Yeah, that's the thing. It probably didn't start from a good place. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got to do weird shit to get the good shit? Is that what you're saying?
I suppose.
So, okay.
Yeah, like, you've ever heard of, like, Thomas Ladder?
No.
Who created the ladder?
What?
He's like, shit, I need to grab something. What do I do? I got this invention, a ladder. That's my last name, Ladder. Thomas Ladder. And created the ladder. Nah, it's not real. It's a joke. I heard that joke,
no,
Thomas Ladder.
I'm also confused by
Thomas
this joke.
Ladder came to town with an invention. They needed to grab something. It was too high up. It's like, I've got an invention. It's called the ladder. My name's Thomas Ladder, so I named it after myself.
Is that bad?
Nah, ladder's bad. Ladders help you get stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, ladder.
You ever climbed a ladder before?
Yes, I've climbed many a ladder in my time.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I'm sure you're on them every day.
Nah, yeah, kinda. Yeah, jumping off one on Monday, I think.
That's cool. Do a backflip.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. But you know that talking of Thomas Ladder, his last name being Ladder. I know that's a joke, but do you know what last names originate from?
No. Well,
God knows what the fuck Hannum means, but in theory, one's last name originates from the occupation that they had.
What?
So back years ago, back when we probably were like, oh, you go grab me rock, I smash, make fire. No, not that far back, but my last name's Green.
So what were you, grass? Sorry.
Yeah, I was literally grass. No, the green originates from the people that would look after the village green. So people that would mow the grass and maintain all the forestry. So in my past life, I was a gardener.
Really?
I guess.
Okay.
So I don't know what Hannum is.
No, me either. I think I know it's Irish descent, so it's probably something to do with beer.
Should I look up what does Hannum mean?
Sure.
What does...
Vinny sent me a thing this week. It was when she went to somewhere. I think it was in Scotland.
Vinny went to Edinburgh recently.
That's it. And she found a place called Hannum's and sent it to me. Why is it Chinese?
I don't know. But
Korean, my bad, sorry.
But it's a noun in Korean in reference to Korean men, especially sexist or misogynistic men.
You're joking. No, it doesn't say that.
It does.
No,
Did you read it?
Shut up.
It says it right bloody here, mate.
Sexist and misogynist.
Korean men, especially sexist or misogynistic men. So, I mean, fitting.
What the fuck?
Fitting.
That's horrible. I hate that. I love my last name.
It's a good name. Of course you love it. Here you go. Origins available, England and Ireland. Let's see what it has to say.
Hannum history.
The name Hannum reached English shores. Oh God, isn't this quality content? Ancient records reveal the name Hannum is derived from the Old English roots Han, which means rock, and Ham, which means village or settlement, collectively meaning place at the rocks. However, another source notes a different meaning at the high enclosure. Hannum is on high ground.
So I moved rocks.
Maybe you did some rocks. The surname Hannum was first found in Gloucestershire. Is that where they go in Fugitive of the Dune? Was that Gloucester?
I don't remember.
You don't? Okay.
Gloucester.
Me just trying to make this somehow Doctor Who related.
Yeah.
Here you go. Conjecturally, they are descended from Hunbold, who held the lands of Hunham, now a suburb of Bristol, from Arnulf de Hesten at the time of the taking of the Doomsday Book survey.
No, Doomsday Clock.
I don't know what I just said. I'm going to be honest. I don't know the words I spoke. They came out my mouth. I don't know what they mean.
Sexist misogynists who move rocks. Apparently.
Would you like to know the early history of the Hannam family?
Sure. Oh my god, you can buy Hannam mugs. That's sick. That's hilarious. You can buy Hannam mugs.
And it's got like your house.
Stop stealing our fucking merch ideas. Buy the Hannam mug now from the 50% store.
Okay, yeah, there's different... Yeah, okay, we're not going to go into this. This is just a number of dates and,
What the
and
fuck?
things.
That's the craziest shit ever.
Yeah, so you're a misogynistic man.
That's only in Korea, though, and I wasn't born in Korea, so...
Do you know that?
Yeah, I think so.
You know that your birthplace...
I think I'd know if I was born in Korea. I think I'd... My dad's cousin did all the ancestry and stuff, and I don't know, apparently someone killed someone ages ago.
Was it a woman?
No, I think all our ancestors killed someone. Let's be real. There's probably a few greens with some red on their hands, if you catch my drift.
As Stephen Moffat once said in Inside Man,
Yeah.
everyone's a murderer if you have a bad day.
They were watching Inside Man.
That concerns me. The origins of the name Green has Old Saxon, like Harold Saxon, once again, Doctor Who related,
Right.
from the Old English green, from Norse roots, common throughout England and Ireland. Green is mostly thought to have geographical origins, referring to someone who lives near or at a village green or some kind of grassy area.
Yeah.
So perhaps...
I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory with the green name.
Okay, maybe, because I don't know who told me this whole where did last names come from thing. That fact that I said. It could be wrong. I just remember it from like 10 years ago. Someone told me that. But, hey, this also works for me. Someone who lived near the village green, and perhaps you are someone that lived on highland near rocks.
Right, that's some Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, and I'm Tarzan.
Dude, one of your mates is a funny last name. I think we all know what he used to do.
Who? What? Opening a car boot.
Andrew. Oh, what was he doing?
He's filing.
Exactly.
He's filing.
Did I say that? Sorry.
No, that's fine.
That's a last name. So there you go. Was he filing?
Back in the day, he used to do some filing.
Yeah.
He used to file, like, back in the 1,200, in the 1200s.
I had to keep track of, like, birth certificates and stuff. And,
so maybe he was a filing man.
Death records.
There you go. Anyways, Pyramid at the End of the World.
I'm still blind. That's why I bought them, by the way.
Oh, these glasses.
Which is what
for the tape,
wears.
for the audio listeners, Connor has put on some dark Ray-Bans.
Well, these are the ones that Capaldi wears.
They're not the same ones.
Yeah, they are.
They're not the exact same shape. How do you know they're the exact same ones?
Because he wears the wafer Ray-Bans.
Yeah, but they come in different shapes. They're not the same.
They are.
They're a different shape.
They are.
Different shape, mate. Different shape.
They are.
Nah, the rims are too thick and too rounded.
Well, they're Casey Neistats, right? There, I said it.
Well,
They actually are, though. These are the ones he wore. Which is why I got them.
Trying very hard. Okay, so...
Well, I vlog.
What else did you like about the Pyramid at the End of the World?
Not much.
Oh, well,
good
good
anyway,
job.
well, I put these on to explain that they do the whole... give me the doctor's eyesight back.
Right, because he's still blind and then he becomes unblind.
Oh, he kind of is, but he kind of isn't. I hate it. It's like...
Yeah.
It doesn't really stop him doing anything except for the end when he can't...
Yeah, that's a nice like repercussion for the whole blind situation. But yeah, I do think it's... Yeah, not a lot happens with it before then, because you've still got Nardole whispering in his ear, and no one's like really questioning it. Like I know
I'm not blind anymore.
There's one line at the start where like Bill's like, "Oh, why are you saying that stuff, Nardole?" And he makes some like throwaway line about it.
Oh, I was just talking to the doctor.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, no one's gonna question that again.
Knee slapping humor.
But I think like. I think that they do a good job at being like, oh, the doctor's fucked. You know what I mean? Like at the end when he can't get in and he's like, oh fuck. Like I've shat the bed here.
I like it though. I like how it makes Bill do make a huge mistake. This trilogy is a lot better than I remember it.
But I've always thought that it's the next one where it might possibly go horribly wrong.
You're not wrong. I always thought they got worse.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But yeah,
this season is such a lukewarm.
I love when characters make a decision to push the plot forward and to do the right thing, but it backfires massively. I think those are always sort of the best plot points when a character tries to do something right, but it makes things worse. And which is what Bill does in this case, right? She gets the Doctor's eyesight back, but at the same time, she brings the monks down onto Earth, and now they're invaded everywhere. Truth.
Yeah, truth social.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the repercussions. I think it actually at the end has some repercussions. Dude, what happens to Nardo? He just blacks out in the
Yeah, he
TARDIS.
blacks out.
He's had too many beers. He's like, he's literally just like, oh.
Me last night. Like,
Yeah. And he just looks so goofy on the floor.
I know.
Like,
It's so funny. But like,
it's a funny shot.
I think it is great when he's like, the Doctor is like so panicked. He's like, Nardo, I need you. I need you. And he's just like,
too many beers.
Too many CCs, mate.
Yeah, too many Canadian clubs, you know? Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's yeah. I just thought that was very effective, and it's like a very you don't expect it moment, you know, like because out of all the things to stop the Doctor in the track, you don't expect this to be what it is.
And say what you will about that, I guess.
Think
what you will about that.
I like how the glasses can like read someone's like age and things and transmit that into his brain, but it can't. The glasses can't figure out the numbers and the combination to put in on the door.
He literally sees a fucking iPad.
Yeah.
It's like I love how he does the zzz,
the sonic zap. Zzz.
zzz. It's like okay, this is a children's TV show, and I have myself to blame.
Moffat must have really liked the sonic glasses, hey?
Yeah, I think Capaldi was just rocking them on set in season 8, and he was like, he looks cool with those. I'll let him wear them for
maybe
the rest of his run. Yeah. You know what? Real quick, I did this week at the pub.
What?
Named every episode from season 1 to 10 in order for someone.
That's really cool.
The whole pub.
You couldn't do 11 and 12? Surely you could do 11 and 12.
Not as well as you'd think. No.
No? All right, go from 11. I know you could do 1 to 10.
11.
Let's see how far you can go through.
11. Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Yep.
Ghost Monument. Rosa. Arachnids in the UK.
Correct.
The
Saranga Conundrum.
That would be the Demons of the Punjab.
Correct.
Kablam.
Yep.
Witchfinders.
Yep.
It Takes You Away.
Yep.
The Avkolos.
The Battle of Rangsaw Avkolos.
Okay, better than I thought.
And then just keep going. How far can you
Revolution of the Daleks.
Resolution
of the Daleks.
Not of the Daleks, just Resolution.
And then it's Spyfall.
Yep.
Part 1, Spyfall Part 2.
Everyone's screaming at you right now. Everyone's screaming, Benny! Benny!
Really? Is that it?
Benny!
Is that
Benny 55, yeah.
Orphan 55. See, this is where I get shit because I haven't really watched season 12 a lot.
What about a night? There's a night, and it's pretty terrifying.
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Correct.
And it's that fucking Praxis.
Nope.
Oh, fucking dick.
It's Jadoon. I'm the Roof Doctor.
Jadoon, and then it's Praxis. Praxius, and then it's
Then 7. Sorry, what was that? I can't hear you.
Oh, It Takes You. No, it's the Talk to Me.
No, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me? And it's the Haunting of Villa di Dati.
Haunting of Villa di Dati.
Dati.
Villa di Dati.
Dati closed down a year ago. And then it's the fucking Cybermen ship.
Yes, Ascension of the Cybermen.
The Ascension of the Cybermen.
Correct.
And then it's the Timeless Child.
Children.
And then it's Eve of the Daleks.
No. Then it's Revolution of the Daleks.
Revolution of the Daleks. Then it's fucking
spooky.
Halloween Apocalypse.
Yep.
The Battle with the War of Sontarans.
Yep.
Once Upon a Time.
Yep.
Vanquishers is the last one.
That's the last one. What's 4 and 5?
Fucking, I always forget the fourth one.
What's the 5th one?
Oh no, so it's the 5th one. Oh, sorry, it's Time of the Angels.
Yeah, that's number 4.
Yeah, I always.
No, it's not. No, it's Village of the Angels.
And it's I always forget 5. What's it called?
Survivors of the Flux.
Survivors of the Flux, and then it's Eve, and then it's Legend of the Sea Devils, and then it's the Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog. Yeah. Power of these nuts.
But I did 1 to 10, and literally the whole bar got involved, and they were like, "What the fuck? How do you do that?" And I was like, "I have no social life."
They got you on the shoulders, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm the king."
Yeah, and they throw me out.
Get this nerd out of here.
They pull me up and throw me out. All right. Like Matt Smith in Town Called Mercy. Yeah, I don't know. I it was more me pushing to do it, but
Yeah.
She was like, I'm a Doctor Who fan. And I was like, you know, I can name all of them.
Did you promote the podcast?
I did.
There you go.
Do you know what sucked? She was like, I just started listening to it and it's something about you drinking piss. And I was like, I fucking hate Aidan for that. I really hate you for that.
Maybe I was just talking about you drinking beers.
Really hate you for that.
Oh,
You said pee.
the audience would have been...
So gross. I think that is disgusting.
Our YouTube watchers would have seen a little yellow bottle and you know they all would have thought, that's piss. That's
Yeah,
piss.
and literally I had a segment at the beginning where I was going to say it's electrolytes because I fucking threw up.
I made it a bit funnier, so how about that?
Yeah, now some fucking woman's travelling around Australia thinking I drink piss. So yeah, it's very, very funny, obviously.
Any other thoughts on Pyramid? I know we haven't talked about it that much, but we had more monks.
No deal.
No deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, President of the Earth.
Yes.
Oh, I like the beginning where it's like previously and it went to now.
Oh, that was excellent, like the cut between them. I feel like Moffat's like, damn, I've had 6 seasons of previously. Like, we need to shake this up somehow.
Moffat's writing like this, going like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
like,
great idea.
we're going to bounce back and forth between the previously and the present.
Surely someone gift that. I'll do it. I'll start to.
Someone gif.
Can someone gift that?
Someone, I don't know.
How do you make gifs?
How do you gif? How does one gif?
You made a gif once.
Did I?
Yeah, for one of your vlogs. I remember that.
Oh, well, silly me.
How do you do it?
I don't know.
Did you get the Sonic glasses out and go?
Yes. Zzz. No, I didn't. I did not.
Do you want to talk about why you cried?
Yeah, we can talk about why I cried, which leads us to a lovely segment.
What we watched this.
What the boys watched this week, boy.
If I sing over it, does it copyright us? Okay, we're safe. We're safe. We're safe.
So, Connor, Hanem.
Yo!
This is the segment where we talk
Aidan.
about the things that we watched this week. And there's 2 weeks, actually, 'cause it's been such a gap between which we recorded.
Yes.
So I always will just throw out some things that I saw, and then I'll touch on 2 of them in more detail.
Alright, you want to go first?
I can.
I'll get my list up.
Okay, I got mine at the ready. So I continued a few of my Harry Potter watches. Did Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Ooh.
Excellent movies. Azkaban, one of the best, well, the best Harry Potter of them all. I also watched Lord of the Rings 2, because great movie. And then I went and I saw the movies that are called... now I want to talk about this TV show, right? It's called The Devil's Hour, starring Peter Capaldi.
Hey.
Also, the lady that plays Verity Lambert.
Verity Lambert, yeah.
Excellent show, extremely well written.
Really?
It's brilliant. It's very good. Highest praises from Aidan. It's pretty spooky. It's pretty interesting. And the finale, whilst a little bit explaining, is really good. It's really twisty, turny, timey. It's like a dark time travel-ish. It's not time travel. It's like a... Just watch it. It's really interesting.
How many episodes is it?
6 on Amazon Prime, 60 minutes each.
Alright.
Very good. And then I also watched a Norwegian film called The Worst Person in the World, which I thought was fantastic. It's been on my radar for a very long time, and I really loved it. But my main thing that I want to talk about today is the movie After Sun. Not to be confused with the product that we rub on our bodies.
Aloe
vera. It's an incredible movie. Charlotte Wells, it's her directorial debut.
Ooh.
And it sort of caught everyone off guard at the British Film Festival and won like every award.
Really?
It's got Paul Mescal as the actor. He's Oscar nominated for the role. I keep calling him Pedro Pascal because The Last of Us and Mandalorian.
Aaron simultaneously now.
Very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an excellent movie, and there's actually not a lot I can say of it without spoiling it. So on the most surface level, what I will say is it's a movie about when a child, which I'm sure we can relate to, as the child gets to a certain age and they can start to understand their parents.
Yeah.
And the problems that their parents, your parents are, when they're like idols when you're a kid, right? But as you grow up, you start to understand them more and more. And in a way, it's about that, but that's the most surface reading of it. There is so much deeper stuff that I will not get into for fear of spoilers, but it's my favorite film of 2022.
Whee!
And I was tearing up at the movies. I went to Luna Outdoor, so lovely outdoor cinema. My friend Andrew, who I once a month take to like a random showing of a film that I want to see that he doesn't really care about, but he always seems to enjoy. And it kind of ended, and he was like, yeah, that was good. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty good, man. Yeah. And just acted all tough, man. And then I got home, then I cried. And then I sort of realized that something hadn't clicked in the plot for me. And when it did click about an hour later, I then cried again.
Wow.
And it's an extremely moving film.
This really moved your ass, hey?
My ass was moved. Car beeping.
Beep, beep.
I was extremely moved by this movie. So, I encourage everyone to check it out. Yeah, so that was me trying to keep that kind of brief. What have you watched, Connor?
So we both started Succession, I believe.
Yes, but I'm still in season 1.
Okay, so I'm on season 2 now. Loving it. Definitely took me like 4 episodes to get into. I think it had a slow start. And I think a lot of people agree with that.
Yeah,
but
they do.
by the end of the season, I was like fully hooked. Great final for the first season.
Cool.
Really, really good. You'll love that. And I think I'm like 2 episodes into season 2 now. So
very cool.
Season 4, final season, comes out this month, which is March 2023.
March was a big month for TV because we've got Ted Lasso returning.
Yeah, of course. Very exciting.
Obviously, Mando's on at the moment.
Yeah.
Last of Us is going to wrap up.
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
And Succession starts. So
Succession, yeah, and then I only watched 2 movies because I've been away this week. So I rewatched Edge of 17, a
fantastic movie.
Really love.
I love that movie so much.
Always loved it.
Yeah,
a good old coming to age movie.
Yes,
which I've loved since I saw it in the cinema. I also watched, which I was writing about in the group chat yesterday, Skinamarink.
Right, which you really liked, right?
Fuck me dead.
I've heard very mixed to not too great things.
I have as well.
So,
yeah, but dude, I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
I need you to watch it.
Yeah, no, I'm keen to.
You to
it was made on like $1, so like
it was made for $15,000.
Basically $1,
which is insane.
Yeah, literally nothing.
It was like shot in the writer director's house.
Wow,
which is insane, like his childhood home.
Jeez,
I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fucking terrifying. And he started off as a YouTuber and just made like a concept short for this movie, which then went and made a film about it.
Is it streaming somewhere?
Yes, it's Shudder.
All right, Shudder original.
So I literally just, unfortunately, sorry Shudder, but it's the only way I could watch it. So I started the free trial, watched the movie, and then that night cancelled it.
That's fine.
Apologies, I just don't have any reason to keep the streaming service. I'm not really like a horror movie buff. I occasionally dip my feet in for movies that really tickle my fancy. I thought it was absolutely terrifying. It's such an interesting film. I don't want to say a lot about it because I want you guys to go watch it. Check out the trailer, Skinamarink on YouTube. I just had nothing but good things to say about it. I actually tweeted the director and writer yesterday, and he said thank you for watching it and all that. So that's really cool.
So our big recommendations for this week would be Skinamarink.
Yeah.
The Devil's Hour 6-part series.
Yeah.
Succession, if you haven't already.
And Sunburn.
And After Sun. After Sun. Which, fantastic.
And Edge of 17 is really
such a me movie. Yeah, it is. It is a great film. All right, Connor, I know we didn't talk about it too much, but what would you rate out of 10 for The Pyramid at the End of the World?
I'm going to be kind and give it a 7.
Yeah, okay.
I think it doesn't really deserve that, but it's like on the edge, man. It's like
on the edge of 17, you could say.
Yeah, it's like
just edge of 7.
It's like yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it a 7. Yeah, fist bump. Been a while since we've done that.
Yeah.
Nice to give the same score. And Pyramid at the End of the World. It's good. It's not great.
Good to be back.
Serviceable. It is.
Well, not for long, and then back to it.
Back to work for Connor. Okay, so coming up at the end of this...
At the end of the world.
At the end of the year, if the Doomsday Clock has not hit 0 by that point... Doomsday Clock is kind of a flawed idea, right? Because it's like, you could have like 20 seconds to midnight 1 January, and then the world ends in like July. And you don't really get the 10 seconds warning, right?
Yeah, but would you rather die like not knowing? I probably would. Like, if you knew it was coming, the whole world would turn into an absolute fucking shit show.
It's the end of the world!
Why do people loot when it's the end of the world? What are you going to do with fucking 4K TV when you're going to die?
What's your favourite movie in 4K when you... You know what my parents bought? An 8K TV. And I was like, why? What on earth are you watching in 8K?
Oh, shut up. You complain about that, you lucky You can watch it.
No, I'm happy to... You just swore, now I've got to bleep that out.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. On this last-minute podcast, I have to
which
add
Aidan has to edit. Sorry.
Of Christ. Did you just swear again?
No.
No. Stop that.
You're going to love that 8K TV, let's be real.
Okay, yes.
What a fucking first world problem.
I
can't believe they bought a fucking
I did not complain about it. I just said, why did you buy an 8K TV? You can't watch anything. No, we're moving on. This is not what this is about.
You'd love that shit.
No, because you can't watch anything in 8K. It doesn't matter. Okay, so
there's 8K YouTube videos.
This year, if you didn't know, was the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And we want to do our little bit to celebrate.
Really?
It is.
Fuck.
And so what we are going to do over later in the year we're obviously throughout the year going to keep on doing these reviews. We're going to finish our rewatch that we've been doing for the last 3 years almost. We'll be doing it for over 3 years by the time we finish it. So that'll be finishing Series 10, doing Series 11 and Series 12. And that means we've reviewed every episode of New Who. So that's one of the big things we're doing this year. The next big thing that we are going to do is in the lead up to the 60th. So probably starting in about October, maybe in September, we are going to be dropping every single week a watch along. We're going to do, our first one is going to be on Rose. So you can sit back, have a beer, and watch an episode of Doctor Who with us. And we're going to do one for every season from Series 1 to 8.
Yeah.
We're not doing 9 onwards because we've reviewed them so recently on the podcast. We thought we'd go into episodes that we have a bit more of a refreshed look at.
Yeah.
And then also, if Classic Doctor Who becomes available to Connor again, we are hoping to do every month a special Classic Doctor review a Classic Doctor Who episode, one for each Classic Doctor. Did I say that right?
Yeah, it's even BritBox, so we'll see where it goes to, but I'm sure we'll be able to find it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we'll start from like William Hartnell in June, maybe May. And then the next month we'll do like a Charlton episode. The next month we'll do a John Pertwee episode. That way we are celebrating all 60 years of Doctor Who and not just the new stuff.
Yeah, the all the in-betweens.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
the in-betweeners.
More bonus videos coming up. Aidan dropped one on Candyman. That was great. Yeah, that would be Neil Patrick Harris's character. Who's he playing? We don't know.
The Candyman, apparently. But yeah, so make sure you do subscribe for all that lovely bonus content coming your way very, very soon.
Yeah.
And we're actually about to start filming our first 60th stuff right after we record this. So we are getting ahead of the game and recording very, very far in advance for those. Yeah. Any last words for this week, Connor?
So we're gonna do our darndest to get some great guests coming up.
Of course,
I'm trying to figure it all out, and I've been talking to a few people. If that stuff will happen, I don't know. Stuff falls through. It happens. Life moves on. We're also gonna be doing some live shows. I'd love to do I'd love to set up just like once a week doing like a live show just at home. Like if people want to tune into that and just chat shit, you know. No. I'm not saying we don't do it together. I'm saying what if we're...
Well, I think throughout the year we should do a couple of test live episodes.
Yeah, you know what I mean though. You know what I mean, like a Q&A live stream or something.
Yeah. And then in November, the camera battery has just died. It doesn't matter about a rack up. Sorry for you visual watchers.
Just a picture of the thumbnail.
Yeah, just a thumbnail picture for you. Yes, but yeah, throughout November, maybe all 3 of our reviews, they might be live episodes. Who knows?
We want to try and figure that out.
Yeah, we want to
see what we do, I guess.
Yeah. I know that live videos on YouTube do so much better than normal.
They literally do, man.
So many people that I follow do live like just one-on-one talks whilst they play games and things like that, and they all seem to do pretty well. So
yeah, I'm going to be playing the Doctor Who game, Doctor Who Destiny, whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay, Doctor Who Destiny.
What's that one with the 11th Doctor and Amy with Guy Fawkes?
I don't know.
Okay.
There's the adventure games.
Yeah, I'm going to play the adventure games.
Right.
I'll do like a playthrough of that.
Thanks for the invite.
You can play them with me.
We should share the controller.
Jeez, what is this? Thanks for the invite for everything I say.
Yeah, I've got to be everywhere.
Yeah, you could do it with me. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening and watching. Not that you can watch right now. It's a blank screen.
Just the fun now.
Yeah. I've been Aidan.
I've been Connor.
And we'll see you next week.
Next week when we review the Light of the Land.
That line do be lying. Alrighty.
The Doomsday Clock
is coming. Aidan and Connor's podcast. The clock is ticking down to nil.
Tick, tick, tock.
It's clicking down to nil. Doomsday 50 Doctor Who.
Or was it just Doctor?
I think it's 50 Doctor Who on TikTok.
Oh, perfect.
50
Doctor Who.
Hey.